was loud.
It was really loud. Welcome to Crosstalk. Episode, what are we on now? 14?
15.
15. Episode 15. How exciting. Coby, how are you today?
I have a headache.
And it's not me.
Mm-mm.
Miraculous.
Miraculous.
Well, hey, you might have a headache because we're not recording this episode in the bleak midwinter. We can actually see some sunshine and walk outside without having to retreat to some form of heat to keep from dying.
I think it was either getting stressed out about some stuff on the computer, just trying to get stuff figured out and learning some new software, plus some frosting I had at lunch on some graham crackers.
Wowzers. It probably wasn't the graham crackers.
It's probably the frosting.
Probably the frosting. Yeah.
Yeah. I took something, but...
Still waiting for it to kick.
And I don't know if it's enough. We're going to find out.
Sure. Well, all right. What do we have in store for today? We had a week off. We didn't have a ton of content last week. We were just trying to kind of plan and map out some future episodes and such like that. But we have some stuff coming up in the life of the church on the horizon. By the time you see this, our bingo night, which is going to be tonight on Wednesday, it will have already come and gone. So there's that. But we do have this Friday, this Sunday, the 15th, we've got our family movie night in the afternoon. We're going to be watching Wonder at 4 o'clock, and snacks and such will be provided. Bring your family, friends, relatives, kids, everybody. Should be a great time together. And we also have Ash Wednesday coming up a week from today. On the 18th, we'll be having that service at 7 o'clock. Shouldn't be out of the ordinary of anything else that you do on Wednesday night. You'll come, you'll eat supper with everybody, and then we'll go to our respective places, and we'll have our Ash Wednesday service. And I just had Linda purchase ashes right before we started recording.
I was about to ask if you were going to make ashes or you just are going to buy them.
They come already made, and that's kind of what I'm most familiar with using. I actually had a can of a decent amount of them left over here last year, but I didn't like how they felt. It was almost like imported sand when it gets wet is kind of how it was. It was real sticky. It wasn't the most optimal for that. So
well, I propose we get palms for Palm Sunday, dry them, and turn them to ash for next year's Ash Wednesday, like we're supposed to.
Yeah, that's what Linda had mentioned as well. But the package we got, I think it's good for the imposition of ashes for like about 500 people. So it'll probably sit in the bag for a while.
Okay. We'll
have plenty to go around for a couple of years here. So yeah, we've got Ash Wednesday coming up. We're in the season of Lent just about. It's
Lent.
It's crazy that we have made it what seemed to be, we were just walking into Advent yesterday, and now we're already in Lent. So this is what a walk. It also feels like this year has been unbelievably slow, but yet,
yes.
The days have been long, but it seems like time is passing fairly quickly. So it's been interesting, been very interesting. Even from, the severe winter, just trying to get a schedule down pat and trying to have normal days and stuff like that's been different than a lot of previous years. So, but yeah, it's good to see the sunshine, the Lord making all things new. Maybe we'll be mowing grass by the end of March or something.
Maybe.
So yeah. Well, what have you got in store for us today? I heard I was going to be put on the spot for something.
Well, I have a video that I saw, and I immediately thought of you, so I pulled it down and saved it, and we're going to watch it together. I will play it in post for everyone to see at the same time, but go ahead and open it up, and I'll tell you when to hit play.
Okay.
Apparently, did I not save it? Huh.
Did you send it to me on Messenger?
I sent it to you, I think, on Messages.
Messages. Oh, here we go. All right.
1 second, please. I'm going to see if I can... That's not coming out for me, but that's fine.
Why is he's wearing a shirt with all these different ketchup brands on it.
Did you miss the whole joke? The buns are made out of bologna.
Right.
I was expecting a bigger response.
No. I understood. I understood.
I thought you'd be appalled and disgusted and have lots
A
of
little
things.
bit, yes. This whole thing of I hate bologna, and then this guy's eating the buns are made out of ends of a bologna roll.
Log.
A log, and then there's just this roll in the middle of it. Man, that was like colon cancer on a plate.
I was expecting something greater than that out of you, but okay.
Yeah.
I guess I've learned that.
Okay. Sight does not disgust me. It's if I have to handle it.
So what I'm actually hearing is that I need to make bologna buns for you and bring them in and watch you eat it.
No, you'll watch. I'll bring the dog in for an episode, and you'll watch him eat it. Can you imagine how nuts it would be to have Pretzel on an episode of this?
It would be so much fun too.
He would just destroy everything in here. Anyhow, so if he's going to actually put that video in post, I'm sorry you had to see that.
I am for sure gonna do that. People need to see it, especially Greg.
Yeah, something. Anyhow, so yeah. Yeah, no, bologna's still disgusting. I don't care if it's sunny or outside. I don't care if it's been a couple months since we've talked about it. Bologna's terrible. I won't leave that one. Now, something in the related family that's actually really good is summer sausage. Summer sausage is pretty good. There's more.
I'm 50-50 on that. I do like salami.
Salami's really good. Pepperoni's good.
Ooh, pepperoni. I have pepperoni almost every day.
I would probably lean on those two as kind of like top tier for sandwich making. But Manly's has a jalapeno and like pepper jack beef summer sausage. They'll slice a pound of it up in like crackers and like cracker thick slices, and those make a pretty darn good snack. I'm a pretty big fan of those. Azaria, I get her the one without the jalapeno in it. And it just has the meat and the cheese, and she'll poke out the cheese and give it to the dog.
That's a very Azaria thing to do.
Yes, it is.
Are you a snackle box kind of person?
What's a snackle box?
So imagine a tackle box, but for snacks.
Oh, yes. Well, that's kind of how her lunchbox works every day. So it has the different compartments, and if one of them is empty, the world's ending, right?
But it's never empty. There's air in there.
Right. There has to be some sort of food item in each compartment. So
what's the most unusual thing you've put in her lunchbox so far?
Oh, I got to think about this.
Just trying to fill space.
Yeah. Oh, man. It depends on what she asks for. Usually, because kids are pretty much on the safest, most plain foods that you can imagine. Usually like a peanut butter and jelly, some pieces of summer sausage, blueberries.
Oh, speaking of blueberries,
chips.
Bellamy calls them pop.
Nice.
You want to guess why he calls them pop?
No, I have no idea.
Because you're supposed to like smash them a little bit for kids so they don't choke on them.
Oh, okay.
And so I said, okay, Bubby, hey, Bubby, let's pop them. And so I was taking his finger and helping him pop the blueberries.
Now he calls them pop.
And now every time he gets in his high chair, pop, pop. He points at the fridge, pop, pop. And I'm like, it took me about 5 times. I go, oh, pop. And I pulled it. He's like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. So no, I mean, usually nothing terribly unusual. Usually I'll do like something that could be kept cold, but sometimes if I'm in a hurry or running out of stuff, I'll put some chicken nuggets in there or something.
Ooh, chicken nuggets.
But I wouldn't say that
frozen
any of that stuff is unusual. No, I heat them up. Are you kidding me?
That'd be a lot funnier.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes,
it would be horrible.
You don't have to deal with. You don't have to deal with it right away.
I warm them to what they're supposed to be cooked to, and yes, that's not an issue. I believe in food safety. I have a digital thermometer. There are 2 gifts my wife has gotten me. Because she says sometimes, hey, I get you these things for Christmas or birthday, and you don't really use them all that much. Well, if they're tools, she's not with me when I'm working on things, so she doesn't really see me use those. she got me a coffee bean grinder. I use that a lot. And then this meat thermometer. I use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially for chicken, pork, stuff like that. Meat, or like beef, doesn't matter. If it's a steak, you just go by the eyeball test because you can eat it a little less done.
Well, and do you know about this? The doneness of steak?
No.
If you're gently poking your steak and trying to figure out how done it is without cutting it and poking it with anything, you take your fingers, and I think this is rare, medium, I can't stretch it, but anyway, that's about the consistency your steak would be.
Oh, okay.
My dad taught me that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
But I also have a thermometer.
I'm pretty good. I have a thermometer, but I'm pretty good at guessing it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of can tell how long stuff will be.
I'm really good at hamburgers with the eyeball test. I don't cook a lot of steak because I just haven't.
Yeah, I can eyeball hamburgers and pork burgers and stuff like that pretty well.
Chicken's a tricky one.
I don't do chicken burgers.
Well, just like chicken thighs on the grill in general.
Well, something that helps them get done.
Mm-hmm.
I always set mine in like a 9x13 aluminum pan if I'm smoking them. I'll put a direct fire right underneath it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have a little bit of water or some chicken broth or something in the bottom, and it's bubbling it the whole time. It helps it cook through a whole lot better than just sitting on the grates. Yeah. Chickens are a pain in the neck to actually cook if there's not
Caught my
liquid.
grill on fire last year.
You did?
I did.
That's awesome.
If I have a photo, I'll put it in here. I think there was just a little too much grease built up.
Oh, yeah.
And was it chicken or was it burgers? Or was it pork chops? I don't know. I was cooking something and I ended up with too much grease, and I had walked away and shut the lid. I came back and there's like fire coming out the sides.
Nice.
And out the bottom and everything. I'm like, uh-oh. So I turned it all off and it kept going. There was enough stuff like on the grate
to burn off.
And it was burning. And I'm like, I'm almost ready to get the hose. And Abby's like, here, take some baking soda. And so I dumped a whole box of baking soda on it.
Nice.
And it put it out.
Nice. Here's propane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always use, well, mine's charcoal and I use like hickory chunks and stuff like that. I have an offset and then the direct part of the barrel. The nice thing about those is you can put the fire out a whole lot easier versus an LP or something like that. But yeah, that gets exciting at times. You get them hot enough. It's almost grilling season. I'm excited, guys. Spring is around the corner.
My wife is very excited because we're eating the same like 4 things right now because she's got aversions.
Yeah.
And I have only so much I can eat when I'm not grilling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
We ought to have a crosstalk cookout sometime.
Oh, and like record an episode
while we're grilling.
While we're grilling. That's a fantastic idea. I love that. Yeah, it's like the guys who tell dad jokes to each other, like drinking their coffee on the pier of the lake. They record it almost like a podcast, and they tell each other dad jokes. And it might just be water in the mugs, but they have to take a drink while the other guy tells the joke. And if they laugh and spit it out, that guy kind of gets the point for it. So
that could be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Not in my office.
No, we'd have to probably do it outside on some lawn chairs with some Hawaiian shirts.
I'll wear my tiger shirt.
Do you remember when we had this big polar vortex when we were in college? And they were like driving people in golf carts to classes and stuff like that?
Vaguely.
And it snowed. It was like minus 25 wind chills, similar to the winter we had this year. And for a few minutes, there were a few guys who like went out in flip-flops or barefooted with swimming trunks and like open button Hawaiian shirts and straw hats.
That doesn't surprise me.
And walked outside and took like a beach picture in the snow in this horrendously cold weather. It was something.
You remember when Connor Mason jumped in Lake Snow Tip?
Yes.
When it was not quite that cold, but it was dark, and
he was kind of a late made legend from floor.
Yes.
Yeah. He was kind of a later guy who became pretty involved with stuff, but he was really cool. Yeah, not afraid of anything. Yeah. Calm and composed the whole time. A very admirable thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, but so what else do we have going on as we're getting into the springtime here? We've got so typically Cross has done a Maundy Thursday service, going way back into the histories of Cross Community Church. Usually, those were tied to confirmations, and that would be, the kids who were being confirmed would be their first communion and all of those sort of things. When Cross was a more liturgical, traditional style of congregation. So that hasn't been a thing for quite a many number of years now. So we're actually going to be doing a Good Friday service this year. I don't think we definitively settled on a time, but in my mind, it's going to be 6 p.m.
You heard it here first.
6 p.m. because there's other churches that have some experiences. If you want to check those out too on Good Friday, we're not trying to stay in the way of people who want to go see those too. So we're going to be doing a Good Friday service. We'll be in the sanctuary. Coby and I have some really cool stuff we want to incorporate into that. It will be very immersive. It'll be very experiential. Highly encourage you. Invite many a people, even if they've never heard about Jesus or ever come into a church before. It could be a very, very cool experience for them.
Yes.
So yeah, stay tuned. That's going to be an exciting thing. That'll be April 3rd. April 3rd. We're letting you know way ahead of time now. April 3rd. And then the Sunday before it will be Palm Sunday, last Sunday in March. Outside of that, that's on the heels of spring break. So
just about.
Guys, we're like a month away from starting to sniff into the warmer weather season here. I'm getting pretty excited.
If you have a burlap sack, let me know.
Yeah. How big a one?
I don't know,
probably like 10 inches long. It doesn't have to be real big.
between 10 and 14 inches long. I think that would probably work.
So what you're saying is you don't need a giant bag of oats that weighs 100 pounds.
No, I need a clean burlap sack.
All right.
That I can put a hole or two in.
Very good. Yeah. Sounds like an excellent idea.
Won't tell you why. I just need a burlap sack.
Yeah. We got stuff in the works here. But outside of that, this We Believe sermon series has continued to be, really, man, as we're getting into this past Sunday, especially, understanding why Christ had to go to the cross.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel these sermons carrying a lot of weight for me personally. And I'm glad that we have kind of parsed this out where we're dealing with his suffering, trial, and death, and then the resurrection and the new life piece. And I think that's kind of a natural progression of the season of Lent anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this journey to the cross, and then the sorrowful, consummation of Good Friday, and then Resurrection Sunday. So it's a good thing to dwell on these often, not just in a calendar year, but daily as believers. So I just encourage you to keep, put yourself in this story in a way that, as you're absorbing what the scriptures are saying, just remember that Jesus did this for you too. It was obviously the whole world, all of the things that he said it is, but you're included in that. This is an invitation to all of us to reflect, to revere, and to see Christ as our new life, as our life period. So we'll continue to keep walking in that in this series for sure. What do you got on the horizons? Anything that's been itching you recently? What's going on in the world of Coby?
Life of Coby or Ministry of Coby?
Yes.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay. Life. My fish tank is going well. I'm a little too high in salinity, so I'm working on trying to bring down my salinity. I have a new fish on order that's coming in a couple weeks.
What kind of fish?
A Royal Grandma. I'll show you a picture right here. So if you remember from Finding Nemo, it's the purple and the yellow in the fish tank.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Gurgle, is that his name?
I can't remember.
But it's that fish.
Okay.
Also looking for an arrow crab. I didn't really want to order one quite yet because I only want to put like one thing in at a time.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to get in a pinch?
No, I don't. And they're kind of big and kind of frightening looking, but I think they look cool. This is an arrow crab. There's that. Ministry. Tonight is bingo night, so I have to kill 30 minutes a time, and then we're going to go play bingo after they eat dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing announcements and showing them an introduction to the first half of Genesis from the Bible Project.
Yes! We love the Bible Project. Tim
And-
Mackey, and forgive me for forgetting the other guy's name, but they're amazing.
So I'm going to just show them that video because I haven't decided how I'm going to divide it up yet, but we're going to walk through a good chunk of, if not all of Genesis this spring. We'll see how long it takes me. I think if they like it, I kind of want to do Exodus next. I really like the Exodus narrative.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good stuff to glean from that,
Yeah.
and I feel really comfortable with the source material. And
Sure.
so I feel like I can really fly solo and like really, take off with stuff that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, and I think where you got an advantage with Genesis, you can take a broad summary of events approach to it, where you're not having to parse out every single verse to get through
Right.
the idea, because it is narrative. You can summarize a little bit more. Can't do that with every. Good luck trying to summarize the book of Proverbs. Every line is different.
Right.
Even
Right.
if it's related in theme, every line is different. So yeah. Very cool. I'm excited for that for you guys.
I think they really grab onto the narrative stuff a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also easier to write and, talk about a narrative and point out things that we notice and, some of the questions I've talked about before that I like to ask and have them think about is, what do we learn about the character or the characters
in the story. Yeah.
What do we learn about God in the story? What do we want to, how can we apply this to our lives?
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Narrative is really important, I think, for especially earlier formation of faith, because you're understanding God's story with people.
Yes.
And after that, when you bring in these other more applicable principles of the story that you now find yourself in as a believer, it fits easier because you know what story you're in.
Right. And yeah, I think it's really important, so we'll probably cover a good chunk of, if not all of the creation story. Mm-hmm. And then the second week we'll do the fall of man. And that's like a really critical thing, to understand. Like I glossed over just a tiny bit of last week when we talked about the thing I can't say on the air.
Right.
I talked about, what are some ways that either in your life or in the Bible we've seen that other people's sin have affected other people.
Right.
And a really big one is, Eve eating the forbidden fruit from the serpent. And, after they run and hide and they're naked and they're afraid, God's like, hey, what are you doing? And like, oh, you do that thing I told you not to do.
And they still try to cover it up. Yeah.
Well, but so the big piece that I point out was, he said, childbirth will forever be, painful and miserable for women because you have sinned. And so Eve's sin and her disobedience has now led to every woman having pain in childbirth.
Right. Yeah.
And that was a really easy sticking point. And, most of my kids are girls. None of them are of age to be having children, but they can understand, relate to, hey, this is something that's going to affect my life in the future.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And if we don't grasp the fall properly, I don't know if we can grasp the reward.
Right.
Because what are you being rescued from? It's this wretched nature that Adam gave us, that Jesus gives us a new nature. I think it was Tim Keller who said, the world will say you can create your own destiny. Religion will say it will maybe direct your destiny. But Jesus had all things, and he exchanged his life for ours.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's a bigger leap
Yeah.
than what you would typically see with any other structures of the world. And I'm not saying Christianity isn't religion. It is. It's supposed to be pure and undefiled, according to the book of James. But compared to these other world religions, it's not just a system of practices that is worked within. It's we have direct access to our Redeemer. He exchanged himself for us because we needed him, and we couldn't do it without him. So, I think Genesis 3 is going to be, you're going to get some serious questions out of that.
And then,
one.
Eventually we're going to have Cain and Abel, and we'll have Noah.
Mm-hmm.
And, I feel like Noah can probably span 2 weeks. It's not as...
Oh, there's some doozies in that one.
And, yeah, so... Yeah.
Now, here's a question.
Yeah.
Did Cain know that he would kill his brother? Because nobody had died yet.
So let me rephrase what I think you're saying so that I understand. Are you saying that Cain wanted to hurt Abel but didn't understand had no idea what was actually going to happen because no one had died yet, so he doesn't understand
the repercussions
of what he's about to do?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
I don't know the scripture super well to make a good educated guess.
It doesn't say anything about what I just asked. It just tells us that he was jealous and he killed his brother. He hit him on the head.
Remind me why he was jealous.
Because God accepted Abel's offering and not Cain's.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cain killed him.
Was Cain being lazy about his offering?
It wasn't I think it had to do with the posture of his heart.
Sure.
Ultimately, but when I've asked of this question before, did he know if he would kill his brother? He had hatred towards his brother,
mm-hmm.
and that hatred manifests in spilled blood.
Sure.
Even if whether he intended his death or not, that was the result of his hateful actions towards his brother. And I think that's the bigger issue.
Yeah.
Right? Versus,
I'm guessing.
My aim is feeling good today. I'm going to lodge this rock at the back of his head. I wonder if he makes it. I don't think that was it. I think it was vengeful. I think it was full of anger. And then he tried to hide from it because God said to him, your brother's blood cries out from the ground to me, and he's trying to deflect him. And then God says, I will mark you with a curse so that everybody will know to, stay away from you.
Sure.
But
yeah, I'm guessing that he didn't fully understand what was going to happen, and perhaps, blind by rage and anger.
That seems to make a lot of sense to me. But hey, if you
but
have thoughts on this,
but no one would have
drop 'em in
known.
the comments.
Like, I don't think
Right.
that no one would have known. Like, it at some point, someone had to kill someone. It's just unfortunate that it was, the third person on Earth kills the fourth person on Earth.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty rough. But alas, sin comes in, and its curse did not wait to take hold.
No.
It's but thanks be to God that we live in freedom from the curse because of our position in Christ. Even if the condition still is marred with sinfulness, the condition's going to change.
Okay, so here's a question then that I just thought of. So up until Cain killed Abel, there had been no human-on-human murder.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm almost certain there's no evidence of this in the Bible. Were animals killing each other? Like were prey animals killing? Like is there a wolf hunting a sheep? Or
Probably right out of the garden. That would have been. I would guess.
so. Perhaps maybe they did have some inkling. Like surely prey animals are hunting. Sorry,
predator animals are hunting prey animals. Yeah.
Predatory animals are hunting prey animals. Like, do you think they would have seen that and known that, like, okay, like when you hurt something, they die?
Yeah.
There's a point where, like, okay, you can wound it, and then you cross the line. Now they're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Drop your comments below.
Drop your comments below if you have thoughts, or ask us when you see us on Wednesdays or Sundays. But yeah, I don't think I've got anything else. That was a pretty good angle to go to.
Yeah, if you're a time traveler watching this on Friday, go ahead and knock on that door and ask us and give us your thoughts right now.
Yes,
we're waiting.
We are waiting. It's you. Don't forget to drink your high C.
Are you ending it right here?
Yes.
Okay, goodbye.